Hello, welcome back to Otter Pop Culture, and today we're going over Lapsley's second album called Through Water. So, this has been she's been on a hiatus for 3.5 years since Long Way Home, or Layway, Long, I think I wrote it down wrong. It put down Layway Home, I think it's supposed to be Long Way Home. Anyway, it came out in 2016, and I love the album. There were so many songs off of it, but the top ones I loved was Operator, Station, and Falling Short. Love it. She has such a not weird, she has a beautiful way of writing, and it's insane. I love it. I love her lyrics and everything. It's just amazing, and it definitely shows in this album. This album's amazing. It's so good. It's straight to the point, still giving you her poetic kind of way that she writes. But at the same time, and then you get her vocals, of course. But at the same time, you get even more of her, like, kind of like you seep more into her world. I feel like even this is like, I thought that her first album was just great, was perfect. If it ended that way, it would have been great. But this one is just takes it to the next level. I didn't even know there's another level that she can have. I'm gooped. But anyway, I really, really like this album. I honestly feel like a lot of albums lately have been about breakups, and I think it kind of has to do with the times and everything. But I also feel like it's a great thing, because if you are going through a breakup, or if you are having like moments of like, or if you have gone through it yourself or something like that, this definitely she seeps into a lot of pieces of like how relationships go, and sometimes, like, and I feel like in her direction it's just I feel like it's half of it is, I feel it's just this sucks kind of thing, and the other half is just like, it's just liberating. There's a liberating end to it. I feel like there's a storyline going through the whole thing, and it kind of touches on different parts of the relationship and different parts of who she is. And I think that it's just like, in the end of it, she finds the confidence to be who she is by finding herself. Then after that, the love opens up where she's ready to love again, and she actually ends up finding love again. I kind of want to go through the whole thing, but I do want to I kind of want to just kind of glide through the idea of what her album means. So first of all, it goes into Through Water, and I couldn't really get exactly what it meant, because I didn't know what I was gonna jump into with this album. I just knew that it just meant something deep, and there was a lot of metaphors through it, and I was like, okay. And then it goes into My Love was like the rain. And oh my god, you think the title sounds like, oh yeah, it's love is like rain, blah blah blah. But it's more about the fact that she's like, remember when you said my love was a rain, but not just like the beautiful smell on the mist of it, like the pain of the neck of, I'm paraphrasing, but like the pain of it hitting your neck, the back of your neck and everything. Like, it just seems like this person made it seem like, kind of gave her like, oh, your love is a rain, but it's in a bad way. Like, everything was in a bad way. It's kind of criticizing her flaws and her duality of who she is. And I think that in that song, she's like, so I embrace these elements, because she goes through rain, fire, and she goes through all like the flower, and just like she goes through all different types of like elements. She's like, so I embody these elements, and I wear them like a fragrance. I love that quote. It's so nice, and it just pulls in. She's like, that's just who I am. So I wear it on the sleeve. You criticize me, but I love, that's parts of me that I embrace. It goes into, and then the next one's First, which talks about leaving a relationship. This is actually, no, my theory of what it's about. I feel like it's leaving a relationship to better oneself, and possibly later get back together with a new type of person that they are. I think that's what she's saying. She's like, because she says, be my teacher, be my savior. I can't tell if that's sarcastic or like, I know it's metaphoric, but at the same time, it's just like, I think I can't tell if she's telling the person in the relationship with her that, or she's telling herself to be her teacher and her own savior. I couldn't really tell in that direction, but I love that song. And then it goes to Ligne 3, which is I know I've butchered that, but like, so it goes into, this one's even another direction of leaning into how she feels, because it says turning the corner to uncertainty from the beginning into the last minute. So it feels like she went into this relationship without really any like expectation, complete uncertainty, doesn't know what's going to come out of this, all the way to the end. Like, the whole thing was very uncertain. You don't really know she didn't know where it was going to go, where it would land, all the way to the last minute of the relationship. And I think it's kind of crazy. So she said, and it's kind of saying like she's trying out a relationship, not seeing a future in it. And I think it's really beautiful. One of my favorite songs on top of my Love Was Like the Rain. It goes into Love Is Like a Garden, which I really love. That one also is like leaving, talking about how like the lover kind of leaves. They had a garden in their maybe back up. The love was like a garden, and their love was like a garden. And he kind of hasn't been there in a while. So he pretty much left the relationship, and she pretty much says just like, and you never know. She says like, don't just call it beautiful. Don't just call this garden beautiful when you'll never know without your knees being in the dirt. Just you'll never know how beautiful it is or how it was until you are into the dirt. And I don't think about it now. I think it's about the people around the relationship saying how beautiful it was. She's like, you don't really know. You don't know what it's like, if it's beautiful or not, because you're not in the dirt planting these seeds and watering and putting all the work into it. I think it's a really beautiful way of kind of like describing what the relationship was. Then there's her interlude. It's really, really nice. Sad as a shade of blue. Love that song. It's the first time up tempo song. At least goes near the end. One of the whole thing, the chorus in general just says the whole thing. I know you understand the darkness like me, and it's a heavy weight for only 2 feet, but you don't help yourself get better. I can't change the ever-changing weather. And I think that what she's saying is that she's like, I do appreciate that you see that I have my flaws. There's a darkness in me that you do accept, and I understand that it's hard to kind of take all of this type of darkness on your own, but at the same time, she's like, but you don't really, in the other flip side, I think she kind of points at him, and she's like, obviously she's trying to better herself in some way, but I think that in the opposite way, he's not really helping himself, he's not bettering himself, and so the ever-changing evolution that she's doing for her own like growth is hindered because he is not changing with her or evolving with her. So it's just like, it feels like he's kind of holding her back while she's trying to better herself. And then and I think that's a thing, and I love it because I feel like it falls into woman, and I feel like it just goes like, okay, now. And I feel like Woman was a self-love. I think when she sees that, like, there's no growth in this relationship, that she's trying to better herself, so she does leave to better herself, and she finds a confidence, she finds who she is, and everything. She's like, I look, I breathe, I feel like a woman. And I love another one part, she says, a girl inside me saying, this is the wrong move, but there's a woman inside me saying, this is the truth. And I feel like what she's saying is that, like, I feel like the girl is her doubt, and I feel like when you're young as a boy and a girl, like you have a lot of doubts. You're still discovering the world and seeing what the truth is and everything. And I feel like in this song, she says like, yes, that little girl inside of me is still there, in and out of trying to like. That has those doubts, but the woman that I grew into says, no, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is who I am, this is the truth. Who I am now is the truth, It goes into Bonfire, where it kind of talks about, like, her walking on eggshells with this guy, which is, I guess, what it means, because she says, "Don't say I love you," because it's habitual, and I think that it's just habit to say that without actually, and it to the point where it doesn't really mean anything to the person. And finally, we go into speaking of the end, where she finally, after that confidence that she finds it, she not only finds herself, but she finds another person that possibly is so far going really well. And she says that. She's like, speaking of the ending, I'm running a new race. I'm changing a new face. And I think that kind of like, she's like, I'm grown to a different person, to a better person, and this is all piano. And she's met, and I think that in the idea of, like, I kind of believe this, like, I believe that when you find yourself completely, there's no doubt of who you are, because you know who you are, so that person will love you for directly of the better person that you are, you know, because you love yourself, you know. And I feel like that's what she's saying in the end. But yeah, I love this album. This is an easy 9 out of 10. I love her voice. I just everything about it is amazing. I love it. It's a complete story. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you thought. Are you a huge fan? Or are you loving this album? Do you kind of expect it? Like, do you know like the undertone history? Because I do not know the undertone of this, other than just face front. But I feel like for me personally, I like going that direction, because it feels like I'm entering in an unbiased way, and I personally think it's the best way to go without having a thought, an expectation. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Please remember to self-quarantine, because it's not for you, it's for everybody. And I'll see you guys in the next video.